white now, huh? Mm-hmm. Did you like that one?
Mm-hmm. You did find me clear.
Yeah, I did. Is this right? I just moved this chair. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, I'm Paula Andrea Pyle, and I am delighted that you tuned in this week to join me with another session of Mode of Cosmic Therapy. Mode of Cosmic Therapy. How wonderful are those words as I sing them aloud. Mode of Cosmic Therapy. What in the world is it? It is, well, on this show anyway, 60 minutes of spontaneous, off-the-cuff, interrelated activities that I choose to do totally at random. I don't have a script and I don't know what I'm going to do, and that's what makes it so exciting for me. I mean, it's good for me. So I enjoy it, and that's why I do it, because I enjoy it. And so I might choose something out of a book. I'm definitely going to choose something out of the little cosmic container there. And I've been saying for several weeks, all the way backed up when Tori was on the show, even Bridget too, that I was going to teach some astrology. And I keep trying to do that, but the thing is, it's really difficult for me to say I'm going to do something and then end up and do it, because that would be like arbitrarily defining what I'm going to do. And I don't know how to do that, frankly. I only know how to do whatever happens, and I'm in the midst of it, and I interweave it together like knitting a sweater. Anyway, what I am going to do, though, because it just so happened that when I sit down here today, my book, Mode of Cosmic Therapy, Esoteric Psychoanalytic Map of Astrological Houses, was on top of Dane Rudge's astrology book. And I had started with the purpose last time. As I had said, you know, people always say they know they have a purpose in their lives, but they don't know what that purpose is. Well, of course you don't know what that purpose is, because you're unfolding it each moment you breathe. Your purpose will reveal itself within the moments of whatever it is you're doing and whomever you are interacting with. That's how a purpose is defined. But in your astrological chart, Mitzi, I just might get it today. In your astrological chart, you have 10 defining planets. 10 defining planets. And each one of these planets, let's say, stand for something. And I'm speaking symbolically. Will you please, I ask you with humbled appreciation, to suspend your mind and not immediately think that I am saying that astrology is a method of foretelling the future and what you're going to do. Astrology is used as a psychoanalytic tool in the understanding of your life based on symbols. That's all, symbols. We have planets in the sky. Those planets have relationships to one another, and they are at different times and different seasons of the year forming various different patterns. And these patterns are cyclic in nature, as our lives are. And so throughout the years, countless years, they have come to symbolize things, okay? Not a definitive truth that you can't live or not live without it, or that you don't go outside if the moon is in Scorpio because you might speak a harsh word that you wouldn't normally want to do. Not that kind of way. It is just a general, non-personal, non-invasive way of understanding more of how your life is unfolding. When you were born, I'm just saying figuratively, according to astrology, a birth chart is erected because there's various different planets in the sky forming different, configurations. These configurations, because on the moment that you entered the earth, and because they were in the sky, sort of like a photograph, it has something to do with you, because everything has something to do with it. Like in this hour, everything I do, I couldn't possibly, in the next 57 minutes or whatever, how many I have left, try or not try to make any of this go together, because it's going to, because it's bigger than me. It was before I got here, it's going to be after I'm gone. That's truly, literally so. So when you were born, you had a birth chart. This means, definitively speaking, that your life is charted. Now, how is that so? Okay, if I'm carrying a baby from the zygote to the fetus to the child, it's going to mature. It's going to leave the joining of the sperm and the egg in the beginning and form all these things. Eventually, in a normal birth, will come out as a human being. It is not what it was in the beginning, but what it was in the beginning is still in the fetus and the child when it is born. I hope I've made myself perfectly clear. That which was in you, that charted speck is in you. And this will unfold just as you will come out as a baby, little teeny baby, and be totally helpless and dependent upon your mother. And as you grow, you will stand up, you'll crawl, you'll stand up, you'll walk, you'll run, you'll begin to talk, you'll go through, the little 2-3-year-old deal, and then you'll get into where you'll go to school, first grade, kindergarten, then you'll go into teenager, then you'll get into 16 years old, then you'll get into the deal. You're going to chart your life. Your life, these events are going to have to happen because you're a human being. So your birth chart is a matter of charting you as you unfold. If you know supposedly that somebody was going to be born on the 10th of May, well, somewhere between 9 months, these occurrences are going to happen if everything goes well, and a baby will be born. You can chart that. You can chart that progress. Do you understand? It's not mystical. It's not esoteric. It's not a cult. It is what's going to happen. The same thing with your life. It is charted. So you're going to unfold, you're going to express, you're going to explode onto the scene. And while you're doing that, you're going to experience various things that occur at different times in your life because of the season and the time period and the time frame. Now, it would be ridiculous at my point in life to try to be 16 because that phase has passed. But the astrological birth chart as one method of showing that at a certain period in my lifetime, I was going to be 16 and I was going to do various different things at 16. Some of those things were going to be the things that all 16-year-olds do. Then there were going to be some that were specifically designed according to the evolutionary road I'm traveling. Not my personal, but I could interpret it as personal all I wanted to. I could knock myself out doing that. So the point is learning how to change the personal for the impersonal and being able to interpret a birth chart based on symbols, abstract symbols, just like in algebra, that mean something in the reference of astrology. And if you can take those symbols, just like this, that's a symbol, I'm going to use math right now, that's a symbol of addition. That's a symbol of subtraction, all right? Well, that's the symbol of Jupiter in astrology. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And the reason we're going to talk about that today is because I chose to talk about it, and because the inference of the last show that I had started, and this is the first for me to try to pick up anything from a show before, but the purpose, the life's purpose that everybody wants to know, and I want to make it perfectly clear once again, your purpose unfolds with each second that you are alive. There is no designated point I'm going to get to. Oh, at the age of 45, I'm going to be a millionaire. That may or may not be true, and it will certainly be shown in your charted life. But you've got, what did I say, 41 or 42, whatever. How about from 0 point to 42? You've got all of those things. That is not a destination. That is part of the journey. You will go on past the millionaire point. Nothing will change except that you will have more material access to finances and whatever. But you as the core of you will not be altered. You cannot be altered in any way. Whatever it is you're supposed to do, whether a millionaire or homeless, your journey incorporates the whole ride, not a specific point, and then you sit down and quit. There is no quitting. There is no cheating, and there's no getting out of it. Your life's purpose. So, I'm putting it back up here. You have a birth chart. This birth chart is actualized by the moment in time that you entered this world. Now, of course, some people would argue, well, there's a lot of people born on May 10th, 1965. That is true. That's absolutely true. But they were not born to your parents, who had their parents in your environment, under your economic conditions, with your spiritual values and beliefs, and every other thing that goes along with it. On that day, in that moment, in that hospital, with whatever was going on in the world. All of this plays a part in your birth chart. It was here before you got here. It's going to be here after you leave. But you're going to play less than that in the scope of things. But that right there is your entire life. And you will start here, according to astrology. And this is known as the ascendant, rising sign. And at that moment, when you were born, based upon the time, the hour, the day, the city, there was a planet rising over the horizon, figuratively speaking, and this planet, let's say, on sign, let's say it was Scorpio. There it is. That's rising. At that moment, your birth chart is erected on this plane. It was already here before you got here, but it is now so you can see it. You can look, since you ended up on a planet and not knowing how you got here or what you're supposed to do, you can look and say, oh, well, do you suppose that has anything to do with me and my life and why I'm here and what I'm going to do and who I'm going to meet and marry and my children and everything? Does it have anything to do with that and how I'm going to respond in these situations? Can that possibly help me in any way? 12 of one and a dozen of another. If it works for you, use it. If it doesn't, throw it out the window. The rising sign. So this, according to astrology, determines the mask you wear. You wear. Okay? It is your personality, if you will. Please don't get stuck on that word. It means much more than that word, but it is the mask that you wear. It is the way that you're going to view life. It is the way that you're going to approach life. It is the way that when you